if you were born before 2006, you're lucky. And I think it's funny because I actually changed my camera angle, but in the background there's an anime, tapestry, whatever the fuck that's called, from Death Note. The anime Death Note. That was actually made in the year 2006, so I wasn't even planning on that. That just happened. But it actually fits perfectly in my conversation I want to talk about with you guys. If you were born before 2006, you're very lucky. And I had this conversation with my cousins and some of my just other family members, because we were all born in that area, like 1996 through 2005 was like my family's age range, and the family members I'm close with. And I think the reason this was the final good generation, I'm not saying there won't be good people within it, but the reason it's the best is because we were the last generation that wasn't growing up with doom scrolling and brain rot. So even if we did have our own form of brain rot, it was shit like fucking Fred Figglehorn, okay? Like in 2007 on YouTube, like we were already like mature enough to think. And even then, most of our free time was spent on consoles like the GameCube or the Nintendo DS. Okay, so that form of consumption was way more creative and way better. And although the generations before us probably had it even better, they were less technology based. The reason this is the last good one is because we learned about technology, but we didn't get consumed in the way that some of these other kids are, where it's just genuinely ruining their mind. And like there's gonna be a whole generation of kids nowadays, and even like post 2006, where all these people are just addicted to vape, addicted to doom scrolling. All they do is waste their time. And so there's going to be a whole generation of these kids that are just coping through different ways. And there are going to be a lot of failures and probably a lot of bad things that come from that we don't even know the repercussions of. And so a lot of people like in my age range, they're focused on geopolitics or politics just in general. I say geopolitics is whatever. But these people that are so consumed online, like people that are in my generation that are hyper obsessed with scrolling online, they think that we're in the worst time on earth, which it really just depends on how you look at it. A lot of these people who say that are living some of the most comfortable lives ever, and they just see videos on Instagram and think their life sucks. In reality, these people have way more freedom and opportunity than a lot of people around the world. So it's like, what the fuck are you complaining about? But these people don't realize how they've been less indoctrinated than most people, and they have the freedom to not be into so many addictions that the next generations will be. And I think that also we were the last, I want to add this point, we were early enough to technology to where we can create something with it. So like I mastered video editing and I turned that into a career. We have the ability to understand technology as opposed to like these fucking millennials that have like no swag on social media whatsoever. And, but we're not so into technology that we can't interact with the world the way we're supposed to. So we had experiences enough like going outside as a kid. A lot of these kids like don't even go outside. They're just chronically on an iPad. Like the iPad kid memes are more prevalent than ever. Like I have cousins, and I'm not shitting on, these are like my little cousins, like 5 through 8 years old. They're like good at video games, like VR video games. So like a lot of these kids are spending time on VR. Like literally their fucking mind is just trapped in this virtual world, as opposed to just going and fucking around outside. And I know that when I was a kid, and that was like the beginning of YouTube. Like, so I was born in 2001. And that was right as YouTube was created. It was 2006. So I was like old enough to, digest it, but also like take part in it. So like when we were kids, we would like go outside like under a tree and film YouTube videos. Like just, it wasn't anything good. It was like skits or whatever. But that was how we interacted with online stuff. And I think that's way healthier than VR. And fucking these kids are good. So many people are just addicted to vapes. People from my generation are, but the next generations are like, that's their fucking baba. Their fucking baby bottle is a fucking vape. Not saying, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to explain that thought, but, basically where I'm getting at is that if you were born before 2006, you probably lived a good enough childhood to understand how to react with the world in person. And you probably, hopefully, most of you have more social awareness than a lot of the kids now growing up. And so with that, you should utilize the blessings you've been given and the time frame you were born. And so you having the ability to understand technology and also interact with people in the real world, you should create something with that. And so I know this is kind of like a weird topic of the day, and it only relates to a certain amount of people, but I think it's very interesting for a lot of people that were born in my generation. It's something that's been on their mind. And don't be so pessimistic, because like I said, a lot of people that are super negative and view politics and stuff online in my age range, they think that their life sucks, but in reality, your life is way better than the next generations are going to be. And they're going to have issues that would make yours look stupid in comparison. And so view that as a blessing. I think that's Gen Z, right? We were the last good generation. And I'd rather be Gen Z than a millennial, because we know technology, but we weren't balls deep in it. So that's my yap. I don't know if this will hit, but I just feel like talking about it. Bye.